This is an unsponsored video that contains products provided without charge by the manufacturer for demonstration purposes. All opinions are my own. Alright, framing is underway. Well, at least destruction is. So this is, I brought the fireplace in just on a dolly, just to make it so that I can move it in and out. And what I was originally planning on doing was setting it back into the wall. And the reason why I could do that, I'm going to show you. There is an old fireplace, what they call a chase. If I go up, boy, you could see there was an old fireplace here. Now it's just dusty and it's a relic. It was covered up. So the other problem is I was planning on setting it back, but you can see there's cinder block there. So that would mean that the fireplace would be about 9 inches off the ground. And I didn't want it 9 inches off the ground. I didn't mind a little off the ground. But if I go 9 inches off the ground, that means that the mantle is going to be 9 inches higher and the TV is going to be 9 inches higher. And we think that's too high. So plan B is to not cut these studs, not set it back in the wall. I'm just going to install it in front of the wall as if you were installing it in your home. The only difference is my vent is going to go all the way through to the back there. So that's going to be the next step. Let me show you from the outside. Alright, I apologize for the wind, but this is the chase that you saw on the inside. And what I'm going to do, this is the part that sticks out. That's going to be kind of weird. Wow, it is windy. Luckily it's not too cold though. But a pretty fall day. It's a great time to be doing this, honestly, because it's not really cold yet. And my next step is to cut a hole for this thing to go in. So now this piece is, I guess you'd call it a safety spacer. It makes sure that you're not putting anything combustible near the pipes. So that big pipe right there passes through here, and it maintains a 1 inch distance all the way around it, and it has an additional flange of 2 inches at the top. So you can't have anything combustible within 3 inches of the top of the pipe. Here, I'll put this in. You see how it maintains 1 inch clearance all the way around it and 3 inches at the top. So you could put a 2x4 right here and attach that, and it maintains 3 inches from the pipe itself. So that has to be installed on the outside, and then this will be installed over that. It'll go like that. Then the little pipe goes on the inside, the big pipe goes on the outside, and this just maintains that your framing stays far enough away from the big pipe. Another consideration, as you can see, there are mouse droppings here. So I don't know how, but mice can get into that chase back there. I mean, it's not sealed tight. So they were burrowing in the insulation right here and spending their winters nice and warm from the heat of the room. So that's another reason not to cut through these studs and push the fireplace back, because then they'd get into the bottom of the fireplace and potentially get into the room. So if I just leave this sheetrock the whole way, fill every crack and void that I possibly can with foam, hopefully we'll take care of that and they won't get in the room. Now I went with a flexible vent kit because I thought that was the easiest to install, and it came with a different flange for the top of the fireplace, a little bit bigger. So I removed a piece of siding and marked out where I wanted the hole to go, and then used my jigsaw to cut it out. Note that I install this flange purposely overlapping that piece of siding below it, so that if any water does get on it, it will go over the top of the siding instead of behind it.
Lost my hat there. You're definitely going to need help to stretch these tubes. They are flexible, and they do have to be pre-stretched before you install them. And the big one is not easy. Now, these tubes get attached with sheet metal screws that are self-drilling, so they're really easy to install. And then the pipe clamp. And it uses these spring spacers to keep the outside tube far enough away from the inside tube, because the inside one is the one that gets hot, and so you want airflow all the way around it. And the outside tube again gets attached with screws and the band clamp.
Alright, I couldn't just cover up this hole without taking care of the mice problem. And after further inspection, it looks like they may have come in from the sides or from there. But down in here, there was a big void where the clean out was. And so what I'm doing is I mix concrete. This is just some mortar mix. I picked up a bag and I'm just mixing it by the bucket and sticking it in. I stuck as much fire brick. I took all the fire brick off of here and stuffed it down in there. And I'm just filling up any voids that I can with concrete. That's what I'm doing now. So here's the results of not only all the cement that has dried, and then I put all that foam. I emptied an entire can of foam in here. So any possible way that mice could have gotten in, it is closed. And the other thing I did was I left a mouse trap in there with some peanut butter on it, and there's definitely no mice. Nothing caught, nothing, no signs of mice. So now I'm gonna re-insulate and close up the wall finally. Fire in the hole! This one goes to the fireplace. There is a shut-off valve there.
Hey, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon so you can make sure you'll see every one of the videos in this series as they come out. Thanks for watching.